Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, this is going to be my new paranormal equipment. So this is just a few things I've added to my collection, and there are a few things I have that I feel like are not the most common equipment for paranormal investigations. I've done a lot of research into these items and there seems to be quite a lot of interesting information on how you can communicate with spirits with them. So I'm going to start with this huge bag that I got, and it carries so much in it. The only thing I dislike about this bag is it's super flimsy. There's no like compartments or like a base at the bottom of the bag. So as you can see here, it says Paranormal Investigator. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I bought this online, and like I said, it's amazing for the size. The only thing is, you know, you have to pack your equipment really well so they don't kind of like bash into each other. So the next thing I have is this mini EVP recorder. Now I have actually not got a successful EVP before, and it's one of the things that I really do want to collect as evidence. So I always get super excited when I watch Ghost Adventures and they get the most amazing, unexplainable EVP recording. And if you don't know what EVP is, it's basically, it picks up like frequencies that we can't hear. So if you're in a quiet room and you talk into this, there's no explanation for any other voice to come through but your own. So if you answer a question and then when you're recording it and then you press the play button, or you rewind it and then you play it back, and you can get a voice that will answer that question, and you can't explain where that voice came from. So I hope this like does well. I haven't used it that much. I plan to use it a lot more. I do have my EVP watch, but again, I've never really recorded much on that apart from my spirit box sessions. So I do want to try and catch a bit more EVP recordings. So the next piece of equipment I have, which is quite a common one that I've seen a lot of paranormal investigators have and use, and this is the K2 EMF Meter. So you just press it on and it will flash, and it will always sort of be on the green zone, and you want to basically look for the indicators of the different spikes. So obviously if you kind of go, you know, from like yellow to red, that could indicate that there is a spirit around. So it basically is picking up like energy, and I've used this. I used it at a graveyard and it seemed to spike there. It's just super easy to read with the lights, because I know some EMF meters can be difficult to read, and it's just easy because they're just like colours basically. So the next equipment is called the Hexcom. Now I wanted this for so long, and this is basically the replacement copycat version of the original, which was called the Olivius, I believe, and you may have seen that again if you're familiar with Ghost Adventures. They use that on there, but you can't buy it anymore, and it was, I believe, like a USA production. So this I got from the UK, and I will link the website where I buy most of my ghost equipment from. I will put that in the description bar below. But this is basically the same type of thing. So what it is you basically turn it on, and it is like a word bank. So it's like a dictionary.
Hexcom,
which, as you can see, speaks through the speaker of any words that kind of come up on the screen. So right now it says ascend, so you always get like a word when you turn it on. So yeah, you would just use this in like investigations. You go around the rooms and you just wait for it to kind of pick up words. You can also ask questions and see what happens, and it's really fun to use. So I'm not sure how accurate this is because it does generate a lot of the same words, so I'm not sure if the original was like the better model, but I have had a lot of fun using it, and it has said a few weird things to me. So you just have to take the words and see how they resonate with the investigation. So then I bought myself these cat balls. So it is just like a cat ball that is basically for a cat. Basically you just press the button down, as you can see it flashes, and this will only flash when something moves the ball. So I know that a lot of investigators like to use this to get spirits to interact with the ball, because balls are really easy to move and to manipulate. The same with like balloons. So I thought this would be a really cool thing to take with me, because you know, you can just place them around the room or wherever you are and you see if it moves and see if the lights start to come on. So next I have is a clear quartz pendulum. Now I did a whole video on how to use a pendulum, okay, a super in-depth tutorial. I can link that in the description bar as well. But basically you can use pendulums for spirit communication. So I did kind of briefly show how you can do it in the video, but you would just hold the pendulum and you ask questions. So if you think there is a spirit around, I believe they could easily manipulate the movement. And again, it's a really fun experiment to see what happens. When I use this, I noticed really loud sounds started happening around the room. But yeah, I feel like pendulum is one of those divination devices that not a lot of people have mentioned in spirit like investigations. So I did want to give it a mention because it's super cheap as well. So some equipment is super expensive, but you know, you can easily buy dowsing rods, pendulums, super affordable tools. So the next is another divination tool here, and I absolutely am obsessed with this. This is my black Scrying pocket mirror. It's absolutely beautiful. I bought this on Etsy for my birthday, and they come in silver or gold, so you can wear them around like your neck. You know, you can just carry them around with you. But yeah, it basically has a mirror inside. And again, I have a whole tutorial on how to use black mirrors for scrying to receive messages, which again I will include it in the description bar below if that's a video you want to see. But this is not only beautiful, but you get so much messages from this, okay, because it's all about your mind getting to a relaxed state, meditation, because meditation really is key to this divination tool. But it is actually well known for spirit communication, okay, black mirrors. It's because they are believed to be portals to the other side. If you are open to contacting the spirit world, you know, this can be used to call on spirits to come through the mirror. So the next divination tool I have is super affordable as well. It is a bell. Now this is actually a vintage bell, okay. Now what I love about this is I find that vintage items hold timeless and powerful energy. You know, sometimes they say that spirits can attach themselves to objects, so I do find that's why, maybe one of the reasons why I'm drawn to like items that are of like antique vintage age. But I love vintage things. I'm obsessed with vintage things. I honestly feel like I lived another life, and in a previous life I feel like my obsession with like old things definitely has to be some kind of connection with a past life. So I was really drawn to this bell when I saw it in the shop. It is known that bells can be used for spirit communication. You can actually ring a bell to summon a specific person in. You can call on someone's name, ring the bell, and basically ask them to come forward. Now if you're watching this and thinking, well, that just sounds absolutely crazy, well, I do have some type of interesting fact here for you. So I actually had a paranormal event happen to me a few weeks before I bought this bell, and that is why I actually have some type of belief now that you can use bells in that way. So basically I was just sitting in my front room on my phone. It was completely quiet. I was on my own, no one in the room. All of a sudden my son's toy, which has a doorbell on it that you have to press in, started ringing, okay, and it sounded like a doorbell, like the front door was ringing, and I was so confused. So I got up and I picked up his like house, and I was looking all around it to see maybe it was like pressing on one of the doors to make that bell sound go off. So I basically set it upright, stationary, so there wasn't anything around it causing any kind of weird obstruction. And then about 15 minutes later, the same thing happened. Okay, and then I was convinced that there was a spirit around me. I could just feel it. I could just tell that there was a spirit in the room. I went out the room to the kitchen to make a sandwich, and I heard it again, and that was like probably about half an hour later. It was just the most odd thing. Why would, and it's never happened again since. Never happens again since. I just don't, I know that I know spirits can manipulate electronical devices, they can manipulate lights, electrical things, watches, so it would make sense that this toy that had like some like obviously leads inside to make these bell sounds ring, that it could manipulate that energy into the bell. So that is a story time for you. So the next item I have to show you, a lot of people are afraid of and will never ever touch one, but honestly I just find them so pleasing to hold and to have. So the next thing I have is this beautiful vintage Ouija board. Now this kind of leads on to the story I was telling you before, because that day that bell just kept ringing in my house, this came through the post, okay, like half an hour before all that started happening. So it's, I don't know if it's because I brought this spirit board in my house that I started to get spirit activity, and my grandfather clock on the wall stopped as well. The pendulum just stopped moving. I have a whole video of that from my paranormal story time. But yeah, it was like that was a paranormal thing on the wall, with the pendulum just not working and then suddenly working again. Yeah, so I don't know if this caused something in my house to happen, but it felt like a good presence anyway. So this vintage board is from the 1940s. It's a Hexcom Mystic Ouija board with the planchette, and it's in the rare green Zodiac. So this is what the planchette looks like. Now I wanted a vintage Ouija board for a long time. Just couldn't find one that I was really drawn to, that I really wanted. I ended up buying like a modern one and I didn't connect with that, so that got sold. But yeah, this one, I just love the fact that it has zodiacs going around it. But I just do love Ouija boards for the spookiness, because everyone gets freaked out if you tell them you have a Ouija board. So the next two things I have is actually not equipment, it's more of like a safety protection thing. I actually have this beautiful triangle shaped black tourmaline. As you can see, it's super high quality, it has this beautiful shimmer effect. And I absolutely love triangles. They really do symbolically mean a lot to me. So yeah, it's just great to wear black tourmaline if you are going on an investigation to protect yourself. So then I also have this black tourmaline gemstone beaded bracelet, which I made myself, and I have the evil eye because the evil eye is a symbol of protection. It protects the wearer from evil. And what I love is the quality of these black beads. They're actually black tourmaline with these beautiful white calcite veins in, so it's just like very rare to find this in beads. So again, it's another protection bracelet. So the next thing I'm going to show you is actually a tarot deck. Now I have mentioned a ghost tarot deck before, because you can kind of get more channeled messages from tarots that have ghostly figures on if you are trying to contact spirits. But I just have to show this because this is the most cutest ghost tarot I've found. It's called the Boo Tarot. So it has these beautiful holographical backs and the most cute little images of all these little ghosts. So if you are a ghost lover, or you love the ghost emoji like I do, to represent spirit, I would recommend this. It's very much Rider-Waite system. And it actually has holographic ghosts on the major arcana cards. So the next one I have is an oracle deck, and this is the embroidered graveyard oracle. So this is the backs of the deck, which as you can see has this beautiful kind of planchette. So they are gilded like a kind of holographical gold, and these cards, okay, really do get deep messages in. So the deck you can actually use for spirit communication. You can program the deck into it. So as you can see, it has the mother card, it has a father, it has grandpa, grandma. It actually has a lot of spirit messages here, like in terms of spirit communication. So this is the amazing book it comes with, and it has a whole page about, you know, using the deck for spirit communication. So it tells you how to program the deck into it. It has like a little ritual, and it also tells you to throw the goodbye card onto the reading when you want to close down a reading. So I actually used this deck recently in a spirit messages pick a card. But yeah, this has actually become like my favorite oracle deck at the moment. I resonate with it so much. I just love the embroidery. Look, letters to death. It's just, oh, the artwork is incredible. Okay, so the last paranormal equipment I'm going to show you, it's probably going to freak some people out. It is a doll, so if you're a bit afraid of dolls, look away. But I wanted to get a spooky ghost doll to basically just sit around with me, and I was thinking to kind of turn her into like a paranormal equipment by putting like a cat ball on her or something, maybe take her out with me. But she's super expensive, so she's probably just going to be for decoration. But look how beautiful she is. Her name is Sage. So she is a Blythe doll, a customed Blythe doll, which I find it just super fascinating how someone has even, you know, painted this and sculpted her, and she is incredible. She's exactly what I wanted. I was looking for one for a while, and yeah, I got this cute little knitted ghost for her. So I will show you her eye colours. So she has this beautiful vibrant starry blue. She has the ghost eyes as well, and these veiny eyes are my favourite, along with these yellow eyes. So I do have a bit of a story time with Sage as well. I don't know if she holds any type of energy, but a little few things have been happening since she's come into the house. So I basically dropped her, okay? Her eye came out. It was very horrific. I was traumatized, and I'm sure she was as well. We managed to fix her. But when her eye came out, my front door broke. Got locked in. The whole mechanism of the door broke, which was very weird timing, trying to fix the door. So that was super hectic. And then when she went to bed with me, not literally, but she sat in her little chair in my room. I was laying down for like about 20 minutes because I couldn't really sleep, and all of a sudden I hear a bead drop. Not roll, because you know when you can hear a bead roll. This was like it had dropped from like a height, and it makes that across the floor sound, like very loud, because when beads hit the floor they actually are very loud. So I don't know if you've ever heard things about beads and coins, that spirits can use them to, like, I don't know, spirit communication or attention, whatever. So I don't know if she caused that, because when I heard it I was so freaked out. I jumped out of my bed, and sure enough there was a bead on the floor. So that was, I don't really know how the bead, when the room was still, like no movement, no people, nothing to make a bead drop in that impact on the floor. So you know, who knows what that could have been, but it could have been sage maybe. So just to creep you out with that one. So that is all of my ghost hunting equipment, and I actually can't wait to go ghost hunting very soon. I just feel like, you know, because it's just so light out at the moment, I needed to get dark pretty early. So yeah, let me know if you like these types of videos, what more you'd like to see. Leave me a comment, like the video and subscribe, and I'm sending you all so much love and light.